Welcome in to this week's edition of the Fantasy Football Power Hour presented by the SBFFC on the TN2M show of networks. I am your host, Seth Burchett, Phoenix Rocket in some circles, I guess, joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the guy that made it all possible, Mr. Brian Harwood, Dr. Brian Harwood. And Doc, we have a full slate of games, had some action last night, got action going on right now. What have you thought so far about the first, game and a half of the NFL season?
I think, hello, SBFFC Universe, SBFFC Nation. How's everybody doing? And I think it's going to be I think the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs are going to be very vulnerable this year. I think both teams are going to step down a notch, and that might not be a very popular comment to say, but I think Kansas City.
Popular comments don't win championships.
They do not. They do not. And I have a feeling that AJ Brown's going to show his age. I didn't have a lot of shares of him. Didn't really have a lot of shares of Xavier Worthy, and I think Kansas City is a team in turmoil right now. I think they're just not looking good running the ball or passing the ball. They're not in sync right now. I don't know if Taylor Swift's trying to find a new man over in Brazil or not. I don't know, but
well, they just rolled a snap back to Patrick Mahomes. That was not a great look.
I don't know. And that's not the Kansas City I'm used to. And he's out for the rest of the game now. So
you talking about Worthy or?
Xavier Worthy's out. He's done the rest of the night. He's
and you hope he's not out for a prolonged period of time. You hope it's just a very short injury, especially for people that like myself in the main event that took Xavier Worthy. I think I took him in the 5th round, maybe 6th round. But you hope that you don't lose him for good, because that's a pretty big loss. And for Kansas City, on a team that already doesn't have their best receiver for 6 weeks, I mean, somebody is going to get opportunities, but as you were saying, does it really matter?
Well, a shoulder injury, you can be a lot of two things. Like Darnell Mooney's got a shoulder injury right now, and people is downgrading him. Luckily, after night, they've got a good long 9-day rest, I think, unless they play Monday night next week.
Yeah, I haven't looked at week 2 schedule yet.
So after night, they're going to have a little bit of a break coming up. But if it's like a separation, I mean, it looked like to me when I was watching it that they were trying to put his shoulder back where it was. And if that's the case, it's going to be some trouble. But it's going to be. I think Kansas City's going to be very frustrating to watch this season. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, whenever Kansas City comes to Tennessee to play, they're going to play the Titans down there in Nashville in December. And I think the Titans can win that game. I think the Titans, if Kansas City's playing like they're playing now, Tennessee Titans will win that game on Sunday, December 21st.
Well, they're certainly not playing well now. That's for sure. And, credit the San Diego defense, because they're playing really well right now. It's not I think it's a combination of two things. It's Kansas City starting to look old. They're starting to look stale. But I think that San Diego defense is legit. I mean, it looks, they're holding them right now. It's to hold Patrick Mahomes and a Chiefs offense to 0 points before half, which is where we're at. Although they're in field goal range right now, but that's still, I think that's very telling on both sides.
Well, they do play the Philadelphia Eagles week 2. So
that's when you'll know.
That's what I'm saying. And it's a Sunday afternoon, 3:00 game, 3:25 Central. It's on Fox. They are at home though.
So it could be it's definitely something to watch for sure. Taking a look at last night, Philadelphia comes out, gets the big win at home after a lightning delay or rain delay. Well, I mean, really, it was just a lightning delay. I say rain delay. There's no rain delays in football. But taking a look at that, I thought both teams looked really good before that delay. After that delay and sitting around and drinking Monsters or eating Uncrustables or whatever they were doing, I think that changed the momentum of the game for both teams.
Mm-hmm.
In their offense, I don't think could get going. But I will say a couple of observations before that. I don't think A.J. Brown is a second-round pick anymore after watching last. I mean, they didn't even they only targeted him one time. One time you get a target for what was a very high draft pick for a lot of fantasy owners. That was a little bit shocking to me. Saquon Barkley looked great. I thought he looked really, really well. And, you know, again, I think the reason that people were off of him this year, I don't know that that's going to come into play in week one. I think if the worry about Saquon Barkley and the amount of touches he had last year, that's not going to hit until week 8, 9, 10 is when you start seeing some of that wear and tear. But the other thing, I thought Dak Prescott looked good then in that first half. He was moving around. I thought he looked really good for Dak Prescott owners. I thought that was a good sign. And had that game not gotten delayed the way it did, I think he probably gets in the end zone, whether that's rushing or a passing touchdown. Your thoughts on the game last night?
Well, CeeDee Lamb he's really legit. Had he caught that last catch or two, he probably would have scored an end zone. The Cowboys would have won the game. I was disappointed in Jake Ferguson. I had a prop on him. I thought he would do better. Did get 5 catches, so they are looking to throw to him. Got more catches than Jordan Pickens, so maybe I shouldn't be too disappointed in Ferguson, but I wanted at least 40 receiving yards out of him. But I think Jake Ferguson's guys you're going to be seeing a lot in the box score this season coming up. And one of my fantasy owners on Twitter, X, said this best. He has several stacks of Prescott and Lamb, and they're either going to lead him to whining and dine with kings and queens, or he's going to sleep in an alley on pork and beans before it's over.
Yeah. And we've all slept in alley and dined on pork and beans once or twice in our fantasy lives.
That's the first thing I thought about this morning. I woke up. Dusty Rhodes promo came to mind about Prescott and Lamb. But I'm impressed by Devontae Williams, 2 touchdowns. I mean, maybe he might be the running back that Dallas needs. I wasn't very keen on him, but then
it also helped too. I mean, credit to Javonte. He got into the end zone twice, but Philadelphia's best defender was kicked out of the game before it started. I don't know that Javonte gets those touchdowns necessarily if that middle is clogged up with Carter the way that it would have been had he not gotten thrown out of the game before the game even started.
True. That was just basically just somebody just getting in his head. Dak Prescott is he's gonna be a good quarterback. I've got a lot of shares of him, and Dallas is gonna be all right. This is a division game. It's gonna be a little bit lower. I tempered expectations, but I went in and started him anyway. But I drafted me and Chuck Ellis, who's right now is in Las Vegas. He's getting ready to lay down. He's flying back tomorrow. He did a $350 NFFC RotoWire online fantasy championship tonight, and he took Javonte Williams in round 6. And
was it 6? I thought it was later than that. Was it 6?
Well, he did one just earlier tonight, and
I got you. The one that he had sent earlier today, he had taken Javonte a little bit later than that. I thought.
Really? Well, what round did he take him in?
Let me look. Maybe I'm just blind. That's entirely possible, Doc. I mean,
Can you not hear without your glasses? Is that what it is?
You're right. That's the way it is. No, wasn't those pictures. So it would have been. Here we go. This is great radio, by the way. I'm just scrolling through my pictures. Let's see. He took him in round 10 in that earlier draft he had sent us.
Did he send that today or yesterday?
yesterday.
Okay. He can play him still, according to the FFPC rules.
Because I don't know why you wouldn't.
Because I've got a share of that team with him.
Yeah, that team that he had sent. He took him in round 10 to get. Now, I mean, here's the thing: do you jump early on Javonte Williams? And you're a guy that's played Vegas high stakes fantasy leagues, and they're drafting. They're drafting this week, and that's one of the unique things about Vegas leagues is that you can draft a guy that's played on Thursday or Friday and play him, but you're not necessarily going to draft a guy just for 1 week. Where do you think Javonte falls? I mean, you say round 6. He took our good friend Chuck, who's not with us tonight because he's on his way home from Vegas, took him in round 10 in the league. You know, where does that fall for you when you're looking at drafting in a Vegas style league where you get one, you're guaranteed one good week out of Javonte Williams because you can play him this week. But where do you fall on him overall?
20.4 points is a good week for a running back. Right now,
especially one that you didn't draft to be your top 2 running back.
Well, what I would do, Chuck and I did this right. We drafted Barkley and Bucky Irving.
Okay.
Then went to wide receiver for 3 rounds and came back and said, hey, look, Javonte Williams would be a good flex for 20 points. I would think of Javonte Williams as a flex. And I know there's a lot of FFPC and NFFC owners that are watching the show tonight due to the ratings.
Oh, Javonte yeah. Williams, we have the best ratings.
Yes. Round 5 or 6, get them. I'm drafting 6 tomorrow in the Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
And I'll probably get sniped now that I've said that. But
I
believe in being transparent with the viewers. So
you're letting your strategy out there for the world.
Well, but I'll get sponsored when I get that back. But I'll get that back now. But round 6, I think it'd be best suitable as a flex. Well, but if at PC, you got 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, so round 5 could be a place for him.
I mean, I loved him in round 10 and whatever the team was that he sent us yesterday. I mean, if you can get him in round 10 and you get to play him for a week and you don't necessarily have to rely on him because you spend a 10th round pick on him, I'm off. Sign me up for that all day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Well, and Dallas is a good team. I mean, they're going to score a lot of points. They're in a division where they don't play defense. Washington Commanders don't play defense. The Giants don't play defense either. And Jerry Jones, press is going to throw, but then he's going to have a tired arm, and that's when we give the ball to Williams. But we also drafted Miles Sanders late as well, so now we know where we stand with Dallas. Took us a lot of people were drafting Jaden Blue, but he was a healthy scratch last night.
Well, and I don't think Miles Sanders did anything to help his cause last night, fumbling that football. I'd say this is Javonte Williams' job to lose, whether it's by fumble, by injury, whatever the case is. I think it's his to lose at this point.
But it's like the move. Remember the Titans. If you fumble the ball, and I'll put my John Henry right in your but and then you run him out.
Right. 5,280 feet.
Then you're gonna run a mile. Mark Scott, he a good friend of mine. He's in the SBFFC. He watches the show every week. He said, "Yeah, buddy." So I guess he agrees with something I must have said about the Chiefs or the Eagles. I texted him to see,
or he's just excited that we're on the air and rocking and rolling tonight. Let's take a look at some of the games that are coming up. You know, we've got this game on right now. I have it right in front of me, so I'm not even looking into the camera. I'm watching. Oh, hello, McConkey. Go on. Go get you some, McConkey.
Wide open.
We need. Yeah. I like that. Get in the end zone
in the 3rd round
because I had Xavier Worthy, and I need to make up some of those points so that I can get a win.
Let me ask you this before we go on to Sunday. I bet on Maureen Hampton plus 140 to score a touchdown tonight. Does he score a touchdown?
I don't. They're going to have to get to the 1, I think, before you get that. I don't know that he gets it on his own. You know, and that's the thing that it sort of gave me pause on Amari Hampton, which I took him in a league I'm in that's like a work league. But Najee Harris is getting time tonight. It's not the Amari Hampton show. It's been a fairly even split so far, and that sort of worries me, especially for people that took Amari Hampton really, really high. Does he get in the end zone? He can, but I think they're going to have to get to the 1, 2, 3 yard line and get some goal line carries before that bet comes true.
Hampton has 6 catches for 24 yards at this 8:16 p.m. writing. Najee Harris has 1 catch for 5 yards so far.
Well, yeah, I was looking at carries and time. Now, yeah. Hampton's but the I feel like the Hampton receptions are quick dump offs, and
Yes.
haven't been. I don't know they're designed to go to him. I think it has been the case where Herbert's under pressure, he's dumping it off, and I think the same thing for Conklin. Conklin is gotten a lot more love tonight. 2 catches, 50 yards, 2 targets. Just taking a look at the American. No, whoa, okay. You said catches. Hampton's got 6 carries for 24 yards.
Yes.
So he's carried it 6 times. Najee Harris has 1 reception, but I think it's probably a 60-40 split right now between the two, because it looks to me like Harris is getting a decent amount of reps, a percentage of the snaps. So it'll be interesting to see moving forward as to what that is going to look like. But I tell you, Doc, I hope you cash the bet tonight, because we don't bet to lose, but we do often. At least I do.
Well, money's no object to me. I mean, if someone said, "Hard, where do you get all this money?" Well, I just go to the bank and I press in a couple buttons on the ATM and then get the money out.
Well, I wish I had those buttons. I do not, but that is okay. We're going to take a quick break, Doc, and we're going to give some love to our sponsor of tonight's show, Trophy Smack, where you can go get your rings, get your belts. I think they even do helmets now. You can get and trophies as well. All of the things that are going to help you celebrate your champion in your league right here on the TN2M show of networks. We'll take just a minute. We'll come back, preview those Sunday games coming up here on the Fantasy Football Power Hour presented by the SBFFC. Special thanks to Trophy Smack for sponsoring the show here tonight. Go to trophysmack.com to get all your trophy, belt, helmet needs. I'm sure they do other things as well. Those are definitely the ones that they are known for sure. And I think all of your belts come from Trophy Smack. Am I correct?
I have an exclusive contract with Trophy Smack that all of my trophies and belts come from trophysmack.com. We've had a sponsor relationship for about the last 8-9 years, and Paul Teague, who won the SBFFC World Champion last year, got the 56-inch trophy that Trophy Smack donates to the SBFFC every year. And my next purchase from him is going to be an SBFFC flag. Big flag, like his American flag size. I'm going to have to find a flag pole, but I think that'd be good, something good to wave around next year.
Well, listen, just tell the Nicely Center there at Western Kentucky University, just be like, take your flag down. This one's going up.
Right.
We paid for the building today.
Exactly right. Oh, and by the way, now we do have the Nicely Conference Center reserved for 2026. And
what's the date on that again?
Okay, I was going to announce that. August 21st, 22nd, 2026, the SBFFC Live Drafts return to the Nicely Conference Center. So I have not emailed my owners about that yet. I was wanting people to listen to the show first and watch the show and then announce it. So Labor Day is later next year. It's September the 7th.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not when it normally is.
So in 2020, the SBFFC was on Saturday, August 22nd. because the
You,
SBFFC main event is always 2 weeks before Labor Day, and 2 weekends before Labor Day, and we're just in compliance and following that schedule. Now, I don't know when the Western schedule will come back. In 2020, Western students went back to school on August 24th. So I think that's going to coincide with Western going back to school. Western doesn't have that fall schedule announced yet, but the WK dance team definitely can make the SBFFC draft work, because I don't think there'll be a college football game that weekend, because
no,
that'd be the earliest they ever would have done it.
Yeah, I think so as well. And certainly can make it work for sure, because generally the college football starts that week, that very weekend, right?
Well, most of it starts on Labor Day weekend. This
Yeah.
is a special occasion with Western playing Sam Houston State. And by the way, me and Matt Krantz, we were laughing all the way to the bank in the pay window when we got the over-under bet and the spread bet and a parlay and a teaser. But I don't think Western will play that weekend college football, because I don't think they have a game scheduled. But the SBFSC, I always like keeping it on the same weekend, and it falls in compliance 2 weeks before Labor Day. So it's going to be a few days later this year, but I think the NFL season is going to start later too. So
well, but it usually works out. I mean, as long as you keep it those 2 weeks for sure.
yes.
Let's take a look at
Friday night, August 21st too, for the Woo Fantasy. So don't forget that.
Oh yeah, and speaking of those trophy smack belts, by the way, got one in my classroom. So
yes,
proudly display that one.
I want you to take a picture of that and send that to me for next week.
I will do that. I've got a few wrestling belts up there, but I proudly display the Friday Night Woo Fantasy Championship belt that I won 2 or 3 years ago.
That was when you and Nick Heff were going.
Special thanks to the Bills for that. And I mean, I don't wish ill on anybody. I don't want that to come across wrong. But that game getting suspended won me the championship. And you can't control weather. You can't control anything other than who you play. And after that, it is all up to the big man upstairs.
That's exactly right. And it was a strong championship. They had a good job, did a really good job that year. And we always give a trophy belt for Friday night Woo Fantasy. And then we give away a little governor's cup for the Superflex. And then we give away the big 56-inch trophy the next day. This year, I've got more belts this year than trophies, because I think belts look better.
And the other thing,
they shine more.
The trophies are the 56-inch trophy looks cool. I don't know that I'd have anywhere to put it. I don't have room for it. Would have to sit behind my TV, because I don't have anywhere else to put it. But I'm like everybody else, I'm hoping to win that thing, because like Dale Gribble says on King of the Hill, you can't win it if you're not in it.
And exactly right.
I would encourage everybody to get in on the SBFFC, because you can't win it if you're not in it. And obviously it's never too early to think about next season and getting in. We had new owners this year that got in. I had new owners in my division. A colleague of mine got in and he was in a different division. Everybody that attends the event is always in awe of it, because it truly is a fantastic event that everybody has fun with.
Yes, and I think we had the most fun this year in several years, I think, if not all time. And,
well, it also was very smooth.
Yes, I would agree. No hiccups. We just ran out of beer, but I mean that happened.
Well, no, it wasn't that you ran out of it altogether. It was just a particular type. I think there was still some toward the end of the night, at least when I was seeing people at the bar getting
Easy
some.
fixed.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you switch what you're drinking. It's fine. By that point, it doesn't matter.
Well, but the cart server's been very, very good to us, and they'll continue to be.
Oh yeah, they're great.
And I had a chance to move back to Sloan Convention Center, but the Nicely Conference Center staff and bartenders and workers Derek and Candy and Lauren and Adam and Pops and Morgan and Sharon and all the rest of them. First class organization, first class customer service. I don't want to leave that.
Top notch,
top shelf, and I'm staying there. And customer service means a lot to me, and they treat us well, and they go above and beyond, and we are going to stay at the Nicely Conference Center in 2026. So for those people who are saying, well, you can move back to Slum because the Corvette Culture Convention is the week before, is it? That don't mean anything. All that means hotel room is going to be a little bit lower.
Yeah, that doesn't matter at all. Let's shift gears, Doc. Let's talk about some of the slate of games that are coming up on Sunday. We'll take stardom, set 'em questions if you want to throw them in the comments there if you're not sure who to start or who to set, as well as talk about some prop bets that we like. And I'm just scrolling through the ESPN app, and the first game that pops up on Sunday is Cardinals and Saints. What kind of fantasy implications are there on both of these two teams? I mean, with looking at the New Orleans, I really only see two guys on that team that anybody is going to start. And there's a handful on Arizona, but this looks to be an ugly game. Not the best first matchup to talk about, I don't think.
Well, that game there, I was listening to Jeff Mans, and Jeff Mans, the Serious Fantasy Football Radio, the Fantasy Guru show, and he's predicting that Devon Vele, that used to play for Denver,
yes,
he will score the only touchdown for the Saints Sunday.
I mean,
that's a wild prediction.
That is a wild prediction. I mean, the only two players that I think are worth playing at all on the Saints are Alvin Kamara or Kamara, whichever way you say it, potato, and Chris Olave. I think those are the only two guys that you could potentially play on that Saints team. I mean, you've got Rashid Shaheed. I don't think he's a week one. If you drafted him to be a week one starter, I'd love to see the rest of your team because I don't know that anybody drafted him specifically to be a starter. He's a guy that you're going to fill in on bye weeks. He's a guy you're probably going to play through the season, but I don't think he's a guy that you drafted to start in week one. Thoughts on those two guys specifically?
You should not start him in week one. Kamara, you've got to start him regardless because you're drafting him third round, fourth round. You've got to start Kamara no matter what. Shaheed, see what he does, and then play him later. But I want to see how this all turns out with the Saints.
Well, I also think Olave is a guy you can start because I think he's going to be the main target guy. A lot of people were kind of off of him going into drafts because of his concussion history, because of his injury history, and I get it. But if you can get a guy that's going to be a number one receiver, but when you're taking him, you're taking shots anyways on guys. And, you take a shot on him on the 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th round, you potentially get a number one receiver that you can start with confidence as long as he's healthy.
Also, Cardinals defense.
That's a good play this week.
I won that bid for $23 in the SBFFC, and I'm starting him this week.
Speaking of, so the first round of waivers takes place, right?
Okay, I got a story to tell you about that in a minute too. Go ahead.
Did you see anything crazy out of waivers in your division or anything that popped out? Because there was a crazy waiver pickup in my division, and I'm not making fun of anybody. That's not what I'm doing. It was a lot. I felt like it was a lot, but they wanted the player, and they certainly got him.
Well, we had Ollie Gordon that's the one. And I've got A-Chain, and I made a bid for $140 to get him. I wanted to bid about 20% of my budget. Ralph Shiavon, Suncoast 103, wins the bid for $458. Now, Jameson Hutchinson, who was also in the SBFFC, he saw him go for $888.
Oh, good Lord. That was more than my division. I thought mine was crazy because mine went for like 500 and over 550, like 583 or something like that. And I thought that was a lot. I don't know if that was a HN owner. I didn't look, but I mean, Doc, is that a guy that you want to spend that much of your budget on?
No, because he hasn't proven anything.
Well, and that's my question. Now, if you're an HN owner, you want to take 20 or 30% of your budget. I understand that. That makes sense to me. But if you're not, and you're just hoping that he hits, that's a lot of money. I mean, listen, if it pays off, you look like you're a genius. But I just feel like that's a lot early on. I'm going to, at least me personally, in all of my divisions and all the leagues that I'm in, I am holding my budget because I think a lot, and I have been guilty of this in the past, and I've learned from my mistakes. There's a lot of overreaction after week one. A lot.
Yes. And there's a overreaction. Now, Amari Cooper, $39. One guy got him in the division for 83. Guy that wins him for $83 yesterday texted me, and I tell you what, this tickles me to death. And I'm not going to say this guy's name because I like this guy. He's a great guy, and I love his family. But this is one time that, Dr. Harwood has a hard time saying no. You know that. Yeah. Well, I had to say no yesterday.
Because they bid the money and didn't realize he'd retired?
No, what happened was, I'm going to say, quote, Amari Cooper just pump faked me out of my waiver money. I understand if you can't do anything about it, but I thought I would share because other people may have gotten hurt by that, unquote. Well, I can't do anything about that. The bid is in, you bought him.
Yeah, that's field goal just goes down for Kansas City at the clock. No, you just got to. That stuff happens sometimes, though.
Yes,
it does.
It's like an injury.
Yeah, exactly.
And
well, I mean, I drafted Amari Cooper in the high stakes because I thought somebody's going to sign him. And I've got a waiver wire in on somebody else that I think is going to be a potential bye week play that I think is going way under the radar. He's like a super deep sleeper right now. And I'm going to try to pick him up. I don't know if I should share that information because people are listening that might be in my divisions.
You have to be transparent with your audience.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the guy, I think. And this is a homer pick, because I'm a Browns fan. Anybody knows me knows that. I proudly wear my Browns jersey. I think Isaiah Bond is a guy that is worth picking up in leagues because the Browns have no one else to throw to. Teams are going to lock down Jerry Jeudy. They signed Isaiah Bond to a 3-year contract. You don't sign a player to a 3-year contract if you don't plan on playing him. He's a speedster. He's had some off-the-field trouble, but I think they're going to stick him in the slot. They're going to run him around.
Okay. The slot. Okay, I like that. Okay.
Yeah, so I think Isaiah Bond, if you're desperate for wide receiver, which I am in that league, I think he's worth a flyer.
And I'd get him for $2 today,
right,
versus $200 next week,
right. I don't know that he's going to come out and kill it on Sunday. I don't know that, but I think he's worth, if you've got a spot and you're like, threw a dart, or if you're in the situation I'm in that particular league, I drafted Amari Cooper thinking, and I drafted him, I think, in the 20th round, thinking, okay, he's going to sign somewhere. He does. I'm thinking, oh, I look smart now. And he retires. But, at this point, you're kind of throwing darts anyways, trying to find somebody in the waiver wire. But that's a guy that I think you could pick up that potentially will turn into a guy you can insert in bye weeks and get anywhere between 12 and 16 points out of him.
Well, I'm going to say this too. Speaking of the Browns, me and Matt Krantz, we made some player prop bets this week. Joe Flacco, 236.5 passing yards. Over or under?
Oh. I would probably go over on that because I don't know what the run game is going to look like. Judkins, from everything I've read, they expect him to be ready to go, but I don't know what kind of shape he's going to be in. That was what I'm just telling you what I'm reading from beat writers and blogs and things like that. Now that was also a couple of days ago, so I haven't looked in the last day or so. But as of 2 or 3 days ago, there was an expectation that he would be ready to go for the season opener.
Okay,
I don't know that I can trust that. And I don't know what the run game is going to be like, but I do know that they've got Njoku, they've got Jay Judy. I think Bond is going to have some role. I don't think it's going to be a huge role. Cedric Tillman is a guy that can get some targets out of that receiver core, but their run game is going to be an extension of their pass game. Basically, if Judkins doesn't play, you're looking at Dylan Sampson, you're looking at Jerome Ford catching balls out of the backfield. So I do think over is a good bet on that. The only reason I would see that not playing out is in the event of an injury of some sort.
Well, that is a Dr. Harwood prop lock of the week.
I'll tell you one that I love if we're talking props. I'm going to pull it up here. I'm pulling up my app.
Might be good for Fanball, too. I mean, because Fanball might be a good play to.
Well, and I mean, that's a super flex, so it very well may be. I'm
looking to get them to sponsor the show, but the more to come later. Go ahead.
All right. Is that like scoop? Is that like breaking news?
No, that is a Dr. Harwood prayer and a hope that to like get us some free swag. I mean, get us some exposure for their website.
I mean, I'm all about it. Sign me up for that. The one that I like, if I can find it, there we go. I really like and it's not pulling up, of course, because they don't have the props listed on my preferred betting site. I like DeAndre Swift's over on rushing yards. I think going to Detroit or playing Detroit, I'm not a big revenge game guy. I don't necessarily, and I wouldn't call it that, but I don't know who else is running the ball for Chicago. You know, they do have Rashawn Johnson, and he might steal some goal line touches, but I'm not talking touchdowns. I'm just talking the over, and I think the last I looked, it was like 53.5 rushing yards. I think DeAndre Swift hits that against the Lions.
Well, we have DeAndre Swift, ranked number 22 on Draft Sharks running back, PPR. 52 rushing yards projected and 3 catches and a possible touchdown over on Fantasy Points. That's another website I subscribe to. We have Mr. Swift at 58.9 rushing yards.
I think he's going to hit it. Yeah, I agree. I think he's a great RB2 this week. I think he does probably find the end zone this week, but I would take the over on that. If we're talking prop bets we like, I really like DeAndre Swift this week and his over on rushing.
Well, and I'm going to say this too, RotoWire, who gave us those nice little liners for the SBFFC, they've got him ranked number 19 for the week with 60 rushing yards. So
it's in that ballpark for sure.
Now it's not that much higher, but once you reach that over, it's over. It's done. And
yeah,
the living legend of fantasy football, Mr. Matt Krantz, who's watching this ball game and not watching me on YouTube, that deeply hurt my feelings this week. But I'll get over it. I'll get over it next time I see him because he'll be on the show in October at the latest. But I'm just teasing. I'm just kidding. But he thinks a lot of unders are going to hit this week because NFL offenses are just getting used to the new season and getting used to the sync of the flow and the routines and the procedures. You know how in our classroom, Seth, we have to teach routines and procedures and expectations and things of that nature. I think Matt Krantz is on to something, and he has proven himself right over the last couple of years when he says a lot of unders will hit this week just because these teams are getting used to a new season.
Are you saying under game totals or under props?
Both. Unders for props, unders for stats, unders game totals, everything.
Let me play devil's advocate, though, if I may. because I don't necessarily disagree. I think unders probably are going to hit probably more than the overs, but by the same token, is you've got teams that are getting into the rhythm. I think that applies to the defense as well. I don't know that there's going to be, just taking last night's game, for instance, if that delay doesn't happen, I think the score is a lot higher in that game.
Because you're a coach, and Coach Matt Overton's coach, and I've seen this. I've seen a lot of games. When you get off your momentum, when you're in a rhythm, and we were playing golf, when you lose your rhythm, when you lose routine, whether it be a slow routine or a fast routine or a medium routine, once something changes in that routine, something goes out of sorts. And that's what happened last night. So
I just think that I don't know what the under was last night. I'm sure it hit because what was it, 44 points total? But
it was, and I got it 47.5.
So you hit it then?
No, but I bet over.
So, you bet the over. I got you. I just think, again, if that doesn't happen, then you're going to see a lot more scoring happen in that game. They came out flat. They came out, there's also an adrenaline high, and it's a real thing. People that have never played or been in high adrenaline situations may not understand this, and I'm sure everybody probably has been in one of those situations. But when you're playing a sport, your adrenaline is pumping, and when you come down off of that, which that lengthy of a break will do to you, it is hard to get that adrenaline going again so quick to put you in that same zone that you were in before that. And I think that happened last night, especially for the Cowboys. I also think it happened for CeeDee Lamb's hands at the end of the game because he certainly didn't have those back at the end of the game. Not like he did at the beginning.
Well, Mr. Krantz, says it like, he says it that defenses are ahead of the offenses early on because the defenses are more in continuity. They're more in sync. Defenses are easier to react. And the last couple of seasons, it seems like it's taken a couple of weeks for the offense to get going for a lot of these teams. So that's something that you might want to consider expectations, this week for your fantasy offenses and your player props and things of that nature. Kind of just don't bet the farm, just kind of go quality over quantity for week one. I do like the Flacco over. And Jerry Bagshaw, first-year SBFFC owner, power out, baby, let's go. He came up with a very nice poem for the NFL season coming out, and Jerry's a good owner. And Antoine Lindsay, he says somebody's got to start and wake up. Now it's halftime of this game. And
that's what it is. It's halftime, so we're kind of the halftime entertainment for the game tonight.
And you got this girl performing. I like the outfit she's almost wearing. And so Antoine, I'm going to tell you a story about Antoine. A couple weeks ago, we were at the Derby City Gaming Fantasy Draft, and I had my SBFFC chain I ordered from Trophy Smack, and Antoine wanted to buy it, and he's doing laundry, so hopefully he didn't put his chain in the laundry. So he's going to give me $50.
That could be disastrous.
Chain. So hopefully he did not put his chain in the laundry. Had the SBFSC logo, it was a gold chain. Antoine wanted to buy it, so I sold it to him. And he looks really good in that chain. And so please, Antoine, don't stick your chain in the laundry. Make sure that
well, and something else you wouldn't want to stick in the laundry is a beautiful trophy or belt from Trophy Smack, trophysmack.com. They are one of the sponsors of the show. We're going to take a quick break and pay them some love here on the SBFFC Fantasy Football Power Hour on the TN2M show of networks. Special thanks to Trophy Smack. Get your trophy belts, trophies, helmets, chains, Flags. I didn't know they did flags, but Dr. Harwood has informed me tonight they do flags on
brand new item.
Brand new item on www.trophysmack.com. Does anybody say www anymore? How old do I feel right now? I don't think anybody says www anymore.
How about
it's
WWF.
WWE I'm all about, and WWF. Well, not the current WWF, but the old one I'm all about. Let's go over, we were talking before the break about over-unders. I'm just going to read you the over-unders for these games, Doc. You give me an over or under for each of these. Just a quick hitter. What do you think about these over-unders? We'll start with, as I pull up my app, Washington hosting the Giants, over-under 45.5.
Washington hosting the Giants. That will go over if Jaden Daniels gets a rushing touchdown. I think Wan'Dale Robinson will outscore Malik Neighbors this week in terms of fantasy points.
Well, he is a PPR machine. He'll get 10 catches for 17 yards. So, he'll get a bunch of catches. Now, what he does after is a whole other thing.
I think that game's going to be right on the cusp. If you're betting that, you're not going to know until about 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter or less time if that hits or not. And it's going to boil down if they're going to play a running back, Chris Rodriguez, who went for 401 in my division for a free agent bid, or Bill Krosky Merritt or William Krosky Merritt or
whatever they're calling him.
Krosky Merritt.
Sounds like it reminds me of the Ben Jarvis Green Ellis. You used to make the joke that it was the law firm. That's kind of what Krosky Merritt sounds like, is a law firm.
Yes, and he works for the law office of Dewey Cheatham and Howe for Sioux City, Iowa. The employee of the month, Clarence Mason.
That's right, and he's ready for litigation.
That's Jim Cornette.
Carolina Panthers at the Jacksonville Jaguars, over under 46.5.
I like the over. I think it's going to hit 50. I think Travis Hunter will score a touchdown. I think Brian Thomas is going to get some catches. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do well. I think that neither team plays defense in that division or in the NFL in those respective divisions. And trivia note, they both came into the NFL in 1995. It's apropos that they play 30 years later on the 30th.
Yeah, but there's no Kerry Collins and Mark Brunell, so I'm a little disappointed.
No, but I think that over is going to hit, but it's going to take a little while. It's going to be an exciting game to watch.
The lowest over-under of the week, Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets, over-under 37.5.
Tell you what, Justin Fields has got to get used to that offense. I'm going to say under on that one. Same thing goes with Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. They've got to really get used to that offense. I could see maybe a 32-33.
That feels like it's going to be a run-heavy game, doesn't it?
You got Jalen Warren, and then you got Breece Hall and Braylon Allen. I could see that game being a run-heavy game.
Well, and Caleb Johnson, who I love this year. Now, he might not be a guy that you're going to end up playing early on in the season, which I'm starting him in a league. But I think he's going to be the guy that by the end of the year, he will have that job. It'll be his, or Jalen Warren will get hurt, one of the two. But I do think it'll be Caleb Johnson by the end of the year. New England Patriots host the Las Vegas Raiders, over under 43.5.
I think that game is going to be around that cusp again. 43.5, I'm going to go over, but it's going to be about 45, 46 at the most. That's going to be another game. It's going to be a while before that hits. Probably in the second quarter, you're going to be like, why are these teams not scoring? And then they're going to get going. Because there again, you got Drake May getting used to a new offense, getting used to a new running back. Ashton Genty, there again, they've got to get the mojo going. That's going to be a under first half, but it'll go over second.
So there's your bet there. Is that a lock, Dr. Harwood, the under first half for that game?
I think it could be. I think that'd be a good one because you got two rookie running backs and young quarterback, and then Geno Smith with the Raiders, and he's getting used to the offense too. It's going to take a while for these guys to get going. Here's
one I'll take the under on. Arizona at New Orleans, over under 42.5. I think that's a 21-17 type game. I would take the under on that personally.
I would agree because I think the Saints will get one touchdown, and it'll probably be from Valet. And there's going to be some turnovers. So Spencer Ratter's going to be. They're going to call him 3 INT boy Monday morning, and then they're going to bring the rookie. And you wait and see.
You very well may be right. Cincinnati at Cleveland, over under 47.5. That feels a little bit high. I don't know that the Browns will score that much, but Cincinnati could put up points in droves.
Now, Jeff Mann's also said, and this is a devil's advocate, if Cincinnati gets up 2 touchdowns or more, will they sit on the ball and run it?
Well, Dr. Harwood's mic has cut out, so we will right. As he is efforting. I don't know if it unplugged. Let me make sure that it's not muted.
Wait a minute
now. Yeah, nope, you're not muted. So
no, I'm not.
Try talking to me again, Doc.
Hello.
Yeah, still not working.
No,
let's have you jump off and come back in and see if reloading helps. I can steer the ship here for a minute or so while you do that. Not sure what has happened, but we've had some technical difficulties. It happens. It's live TV, as they say in the professional wrestling world. Anything and everything can go wrong when it is live, as we are right now here on YouTube, here on the TN2M show of networks. Taking a look at some of these other games on the slate tonight, or not tonight, rather. I'm pulling up my app currently. This is great radio here. Not radio, but great content. Miami Dolphins at the Indianapolis Colts. I think you're back with me, Doc.
Hold on. Let's try one more.
There we go. We've got him back.
Did the FCC get me already?
That's probably what it was. Yeah, they you'd already made them mad, and they were they just muted your mic, and that was all she wrote.
Well, I'll tell you what, but you can keep a good Dr. Harwood down. You can't keep it down for long. So also real quick, I know one of our sponsors, Joe Brown, he was selling these V3 TV little adapter boxes at the SBFFC Live, and he's one of my sponsors. Antoine Lindsay gives him a shout out to the guy that was selling the V3 boxes. These things are awesome. Was selling for $260 at the SBFFC event.
So I saw those. I didn't have time to stop and look or ask questions about those, but maybe next year I'll take a look at them. I was kind of all over the place during the main event.
I was myself.
I feel like the mayor at the main event, Dr. Harwood.
The mayor. So what would I be, Governor?
Yeah. Well, you're the president. But I felt like the mayor in that, because I have been there for every year the SBFFC's been in existence, I know everybody. And so I just feel like every time I stand up, I'm saying hello to people that I haven't talked to yet. And so I don't get necessarily the opportunity to check stuff out sometimes, because I'm, going around shaking hands and high-fiving and just saying hello to people. Right. Yeah, just like Nate would do. But it's kind of cool, and that's part of the camaraderie of it is, you see people you only see once a year, so you want to take time and say hello. And I feel like that's what I do every time I stand up and, make my way to the middle there. Those that know. But I feel like I'm always, saying hello. And I'm not complaining about it. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I don't always get to show the sponsors as much love during the event because of that. So, but I certainly do enjoy it. So we've got about 5 minutes left of the show here as the game is back on. Are there any plays, whether it be a prop bet or just a fantasy play, maybe not anything that's obvious, that you just absolutely love this week?
So a non-obvious play that I would love this week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we know Bijan is a must start, and we know Jamar Chase is a must start, and those are going to be, guys that put up points really regardless of matchup or anything else. But maybe a guy that maybe you took in the mid rounds that you think, or even later rounds that you think is going to have a significant impact. A guy that like Javonte Williams, for instance, that came out of nowhere with over 20 points yesterday. Is there a play out there like that you like this week, or a guy that you think will step up and put up points for owners that maybe they didn't draft in the first 3 or 4 rounds?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to find until it actually happens. However, Emeka Egbuka, I think, is going to make a positive impact right away for Tampa Bay at Atlanta. I think he's going to do really, really, really well. And I'm also liking the Ricky Pearsall.
And we lost the good doctor again. Talking about Emeka Egbuka.
Hang on.
There we go. We're back.
Okay. Emeka Egbuka and Egbuka, Boo Boo, Honey Boo Boo, Ricky Pearsall. I think they're going to.
You might have a short in your cord there, Doc. I don't know.
It actually came out of my computer. Next week, Chuck Ellis has bought me a new pair of headphones. They will be debuting next week. Good doctor
talking Emeka Egbuka.
Evan Ingram.
There we go, Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram, tight end versus Tennessee. I think he gets 70 yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
And
well, Dr. Harwood, I'm gonna make your day because you know who just scored.
Hampton.
He did.
I told you. I should have bet 100 on that thing.
But what I said had to happen happened. He scored from the 1.
Well, I tell you what,
it doesn't matter how you get it, baby. All that matters is you get it.
Well, I tell you what is, I believed in him, and he did it.
Antoine, that made me laugh.
Antoine Harwood, president, Seth Mayer. So he's got to spell Krantz's name better. Who is Matt Krantz? Who is he? Matt Krantz.
It still made me chuckle.
And Antoine and Matt, we got a picture together of all 3 of us in our Western gear, and Antoine thinks the world of Matt Krantz. He thinks the world of you and thinks the world of me. And so I just
love a Barney Fife and Andy Griffith reference. Anytime I can sneak one of those in, I'm a big fan.
Well, you remember Kelly Thompson when he first started doing the SBFFC. Mayberry SmackDown was his team name. He got that from Barney Fife. Nothing got past Barney Fife.
Didn't he when he won the championship? Wasn't that his name, his team name at that time?
Mayberry SmackDown, yes, absolutely. And so that was a tribute to the Andy Griffith show. And I think David Njoku is going to get in the end zone for the Browns.
Okay.
What do you think about him?
Well, I think as long as Joe Flacco plays, David Njoku is a guy you could start, especially if you were one of those, owners that waited on tight end. I think as long as Joe Flacco is the quarterback, he's going to get a lot of targets. He's going to get peppered with targets from Flacco, and I think he's somebody that you could start every week, really, with confidence.
And Brock Purdy, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Bo Nix, mid-round quarterbacks.
The short or the FCC is added again, muting Dr. Harwood's mic. I'll give you one that I kind of like this week, Dr. Harwood, and you sort of made me think of him as you mentioned somebody else on his team. It looked as if Juwan Jennings is healthy, or he's looking like he's going to play. I really like Juwan Jennings this week, in part because they don't have a whole lot to throw to. You got Pearsall, you've got George Kittle, and you've got Juwan Jennings, and that's pretty much what you've got. And so that is kind of where it's at. I will say this: we've went the whole show and we haven't talked about this, Doc, and we'll probably close on this because we're up on it. If we can get your mic working. Does the same thing happen to Christian McCaffrey owners that happened last year? Because been healthy, went through training camp. You don't hear anything about any injuries. And then all of a sudden, he pops up on the injury report with a calf injury. It feels like 2024 all over again. And that nightmare was one I stayed away from in every draft. I was not going to take Christian McCaffrey because I think the types of injuries that he is having are not ones that really heal. And it's unfortunate because he's such a good player. But it, to me, feels like 2024 all over again. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's sort of what it feels like to me.
Well, it's like death.
Yep,
and
not
taxes, like
working again, Doc.
it's
Well, that is okay because we are
like
up
death
on
and
it.
taxes.
We're going to close out the show tonight because we are up on our 9 o'clock time slot. I mean, we could go, I guess, longer if we wanted to, but we are having technical difficulties, so I'm going to go ahead and close it out for us tonight. It's been a great show. Thanks to everybody who has popped in, whether it be for a minute or 10 minutes or however long you've been with us. We certainly do appreciate it. And we will be back same time, same place next week. We'll have Chuck back with us next week. So the full crew will be back in action next week. Set your lineups. Make sure you check injury reports. It's burned me in the past. I'm sure it's burned others in the past. Keep up on that news. And that's going to do it for us. You've been listening to the Fantasy Football Power Hour presented by the SBFFC here on the TN2M network of shows on YouTube. There we go. Harwood, you're back. Sign off for us for the night.
Well, I'll tell you what, good luck to everybody week 1. Christmas morning is here. Everybody just have a good time, make your best lineup forward. And next week, we're going to have a big surprise, possibly if this website will agree to it, about possibly sponsoring. And also expect that the quarterbacks of Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Bo Nix, Brock Purdy, I think they're going to outscore guys like Mahomes this week. You wait and see. And also, Seth, you want to make a little friendly little wager. Who gets more receiving yards, Pearsall or Jennings?
I'm going to go Jennings just because I know Brock Purdy loves him. So I'm going to go Jennings this week.
I'm going to go Pearsall. Let's see what happens, okay?
All right. Well, we'll start the show with that next week. And with that, we're out here on YouTube on the TN2M Show of Networks. You've been listening to the Fantasy Football Power Hour brought to you by the SBFFC.
Good night.